Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald, and today we're going to be making a very quick video talking about the new Battle Pass light cones and honestly what you should be getting in order of like what I think is highest priority to lowest priority. Now, I'm gonna get this out the way. I do not like that they're adding a whole 8 new light cones to the Battle Pass because that's 8 versions you're gonna have to take to get all 8. Which, I mean, is ridiculous. It really is. It wasn't too long ago that they added the new Remembrance Light Code, and then they just added a whole new batch of 8. Like, the arts are good. I love all the arts, but we don't need a whole 8 new ones. Like, I really don't think we do. I really don't think so. So we'll get into it quickly. Actually, give me one second. I forgot to clear my tier list. So, let me quickly do that real quick. Alright, so here we are. We have a tier list of with light cones here. Ignore all the characters. This just came with basically everything up to apparently 3.5. I don't know what the hell that means. I mean, I get like with the Hisslins and Sarah joke, which is crazy, but okay. We're not gonna be going into all that. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. So there's that. So basically at this point now, what we're going to be doing is basically going through all the old light cones because I mean I don't think I had to do a big thing on these 8, but I will just to show like if you should get these or not at all, and then we'll go into the new ones. Alright, so very quickly we're just gonna shoot these out now. Destruction is a big no. This one is not that great. It gives you a 20% attack, which let's be real here, getting attack on a paid light cone is crazy work unless that character really pops up with attack. And then when the wearer defeats an enemy, they restore HP equal to 12% of their attack. Like, it's a self-sustain on a destruction character, which they should already have self-sustain. So, like, obviously these are old. These are supposed to be old. Like, this is a very old light cone, right? It came out when the game first came out, but yeah, they don't hold up. Let's just say it doesn't hold. The same can kind of be said with Return to Darkness. The only thing that really saves it is this first part where it gives crit rate. Giving crit rate to any hunt character is still really good. The second effect isn't that great. After a crit hit, there is a 16% fixed chance to dispel 1 buff on the target enemy. This effect can only trigger 1 time per attack. I mean, the only reason I would say it's a last resort is for the crit rate reasoning, but honestly, I wouldn't pick it up even if I dared. Now, onto a positive thing. Today is another peaceful day, the Erudition light cone. This is actually still a pretty solid light cone. After entering battle, increase the wearer's damage based on their max energy. Each point of energy increases damage by 0.2%. A max of 160 energy will be taken into account for this. So the reason it's super good is just because Erudition characters just have high energy costs, right? 120, 110, 140, 130, 180, 220, we'll ignore that, 140, like they have high energy costs, so they'll be getting a lot of damage increase, right? Now obviously there's no like main stat they give for the wearer, but honestly for what it is, it's not too bad, right? I think it's a solid pick. I do think so. I mean, it's not gonna matter with the next one, but hey, it's honestly this, if you pick this, I wouldn't be against that. The next one, Carve the Moon, Weave the Clouds. This is the Harmony one, the old one. This was really good when it released. Now, I mean, it's okay. At the start of the battle and whenever the wearer's turn begins, one of the following effects is applied randomly. All allies attack increase by a percentage, all allies crit damage increase by a percentage, or all allies ERR increases by a percentage. The applied effect cannot be identical to the last effect applied and will replace the previous effect. So for example, if you get ERR, you're either going to get crit damage or attack the next time around. It can't be the same one again. The applied effect will be removed when the wearer has been knocked down, and effects of the same type cannot be stacked. Simple as that. This is okay. I mean, the main deal is just like, again, like having random like stats just on a light cone is not the greatest in the world, but this can get you a win if you get the right RNG. Would I pick it up? Personally, not anymore. Back then, back in like version 1 and maybe version 2, this was okay, but now it's not that great. I mean, better than this one, we will meet again. The most questionable light cones ever released. After the wearer uses the base attack or skill, deals additional damage equal to 40% of the wearer's attack to a random enemy that has been attacked. It's a random damage of a percentage of the attack when you only use base attack or skill. Doesn't even include the ultimate, no follow-up attack, nothing. So that goes in the firm, useless until proven otherwise. Okay, this one. This one I honestly got very confused when reading it, when rereading it. This is me. Can I just say this also looks very similar to the March one, like day one or something like that? Like I had to look at it twice over to know which one it was what. So this one, increase the wearer's defense by 16%, increase the damage of the wearer when they use their ultimate by 60% of the wearer's defense. This effect only applies one time per enemy target during each use of the wearer's ultimate. So it's not like the worst thing ever. The only problem is there just aren't that many preservation characters. There's only 3 and 2 of them use defense. And one doesn't even do damage with the ultimate, so it's useless for that character. So, I mean, if you really want to pick it up, be my guest. But I'm gonna call it a very last resort. I might move it down to useless if looking back on it, I don't remember. I did like a very rough draft, and I have dementia. I forget everything easily. So, next one. Warmth shortens cold nights. Increase the wearer's max HP by 16%. When using base attack or skill, restores all out HP by an amount equal to 2% of their respective max HP. Just gonna put this here. I don't think I had to explain. It's really weird to call this a old Battle Pass light code, but it's being replaced technically, so I have to talk about it. Increase the wearer's crit rate by 12%. When the wearer's memo sprite is on the field, increase the damage dealt by the wearer and the memo sprite by 24%. This is a priority pickup. Remember, it doesn't have that many light cones, and this is just really good overall. It gives crit rate, and it gives you increased damage dealt for your wearer and the memo sprite, so long as memo sprite is on the field, which is pretty easy to do. So I think this is really good for a lot of remembrance characters down the line. It's nice to have. It's really good. All right. Now that we've gotten that out the way, we can now delete this group here, and we can move on to the new set of light cones. So we'll quickly talk about each one. We'll just rank them from there. Journey, Forever Peaceful. We got Aventurine here, or at least I forget his old name. I'm really bad with names outside of their in-game names. So there's that. Increase the wearer provides shield back by 12%, and when ally target has a shield, the damage dealt increases by 12%. I mean, it's good, right? The biggest problem is, though, just, again, the fact that, A, there are not a lot of preservation characters, and B, this is only really useful for Aventurine, personally, and honestly, you really should have his light cone by now. If you don't, unfortunate. I mean, you can get this if you want. I'll put this in okay alternatives. It's solid for Aventurine, but obviously his light cone is better, and I feel like at this point you should have it by now. If you have the character, or like the character enough, you probably have it. So there's that. Next one, the tribute one, or Tribios one. Unto tomorrow's morrow. That was a statement. Increase the wearer's outgoing healing by 12%. When allied target's current HP percentage is greater than equal to 50%, increase the damage dealt by 12%. This was pretty solid. The biggest problem with this is just the fact that only maybe like 2 healers are using this, either Ho-Ho or Linkshot, and I think they benefit more off of other light cones, but this is a pretty solid alternative. Just having free damage for everyone there is really solid, and I can't complain about this. I think this is a pretty solid abundance light cone. Though the problem is, again, it's in the Battle Pass, and you gotta get through, you have other options to go through. Like with this next one, which is really good. A Trail of Bygone Blood. For Destruction, increases the wearer's crit rate by 12%. The skill damage and ultimate damage dealt by the wearer increased by 24%. Plain and simple. You get 12% crit rate, and you get 24% damage dealt increase for skill damage and ultimate damage. I don't think it's a question. A lot of destruction characters are going to value off this, unless for some reason they're like Blade and they only do big damage for fall attacks or base attacks. It's a good light cone. It's a really good light cone. Okay, next one. The Castoris one. The Flower Remembers. Increase the wearer's crit damage by 24%, and the crit damage dealt by the wearer's memo sprite increased by 24%. It was made for Castoris. I don't think that's a question. 48% crit damage for the memo sprite, and then 24% crit damage just for the entire. I mean, okay, technically it's a little bit different because it's crit damage dealt by the wearer, which is slightly different, but it's a lot of crit damage. I mean, it's good because Remembrance doesn't have a lot of light cones, but I personally believe this one's a little higher. I really do believe that. Just because this gives crit rate and just damage increase overall, I think it's a little better, personally speaking. Next one. The Hunt one, which is really good. See You at the End, which is the Anaxa one, Anaxagoras. Increase the wearer's crit damage by 24%, and the skill damage and follow attack damage dealt by the wearer increased by 24%. Again, a really good one. Gives you crit damage, gives you damage increase for follow attack and skill damage, which a lot of hunt characters now use. Yeah, no real problems there. I think it's slightly better than the destruction one because a lot more hunt characters can actually use this one. But both are really good. Both are like neck and neck. Alright, so the next one, the Nihility one, Holiday Thermae Escapade, which is one with Hyacinthia, which is pretty cool. Increase the wearer's damage dealt by 16%. After the wearer attacks, there is a 100% base chance that the attack target is afflicted with vulnerability, increasing the damage they receive by 10% for 2 turns. The same effect cannot be stacked. It is pretty solid. I think this is honestly a pretty solid option. I think it's more of an alternative though, just because a lot of the Nihility characters just can't really use this if you actually look at it, because it gives vulnerability. The only characters that are really using this are Silverwolf, and then Cypher. Not other characters are using this. And Silverwolf's best light cone is before the tutorial mission starts. So you're not really going to be using this on this. But if you don't have Cypher's light cone, this is an okay alternative. So there's that. I'm probably going to put it right next to the Adventure light cone because it serves the same purpose. It's made for one character, and honestly, it's just an okay alternative to that character. It's for people who don't have that light cone. Okay, this one might be a little bit controversial, but I've got to talk about it. In Pursuit of the Wind, which is Harmony. After entering battle, increase all allies' break damage dealt by 60%. Abilities of the same type cannot stack. So it's a break light cone in a meta where break is kind of mediocre, right? Break is starting to fall off immensely, and now it's becoming much more dupe reliant, like much more heavily dupe reliant. Like if you don't have E2 Firefly, you might be cooked. And honestly, like, again, looking at Harmony for break, you only really have, like, what, is it, like, 2 characters, I think? Yeah, it's the Harmony Trailblazer and Run May. And both, I think, are better off with just the Kid Bronya one, which I don't remember what it's called. Memories of the Past, which gives you break effect and an additional energy when you attack. Simple as that. So yeah, I just put this in useless until proven otherwise. Like, unless we get a new Harmony character that doesn't need that much break effect for the break team, I don't really see why you'd pick this up, honestly. I really don't know. And then next, A Dream Scented in Wheat, which is the Erudition one, which has Fine On by Goat. Increases the wearer's crit rate by 12%, and the damage dealt by the wearer's ultimate and follow attack increases by 24%. So this is on brand for these ones. I'm gonna put it slightly lower though. It's not that it's not a priority pick. It's not like it's bad light cone, but compared to these, I think you're better off trying to go for these light cones first over this one. But this is still a really solid pick for Erudition. Erudition can benefit greatly off this. 12% crit rate and an ultimate follow attack. Most Eruditions are ultimate based anyway, and some who have follow attacks can benefit off that, which is nice. But I think overall, I think these light cones are just a better pickup than this one. So there's that. And yeah, we've gone through every Battle Pass light cone. So here's my list of what I think pickups are. I said the biggest pickups is if you don't have a lot of numbers light cones, this Space Shao one right here is really good. Sweat Now Fragiless, I think. This one's a really good light cone to pick up. It's still really good. Crit rate, damage increase is super good. These two are basically tied neck and neck. One's crit damage and volatile attack / skill damage. The other is skill ultimate damage and crit rate, which is really good. And then this one is just a pure crit damage based remembrance light cone, but remembrance again does not have that many light cones. So if you don't have Casteresa's main one, I mean, this is also gonna be good for like future ones down the line. So there's that. It's also pretty good for the Remembrance Trailblazer if you want to use it for that. Solid pickups are both Erudition ones. Both are really solid just for the path alone. One gives crit rate and damage increase for ultimate follow attacks. The other is just a pure damage increase the more energy you have, which can be good for characters such as like the Herda or Arshanti. Really good. Okay, alternatives, we have the Tribios Abundance one, which just gives outgoing healing, and then any ally with 50% or higher HP, percentage wise, they get damage increase. It's really nice, but honestly, there's just better light cones that we already have right now that fit the bill better, I think. Or they're just better for the team overall. Next one is the Nihility one and the Preservation one, the new ones. These both serve as just you didn't pull the light cone for the specific character and you really need an alternative. Here's your alternative. for Cypher and Adventure respectively. Honestly though, I would rather just say don't go, just wait for their reruns and get the like code if you really want to. I mean, Cypher's banner is still up right now, so unless you lost to 75, in which case, my condolences. And the last one is the old Harmony one. This old Harmony one is actually not the worst thing ever, but I mean, in the worst case scenarios, it could really backfire on you and there's better options, but it's not the worst thing ever. There's better options. In the last resort, we have this Hunt one, which if you either missing it or you really want crit rate and don't want this one for some reason, yeah, this one gives crit rate. Like this one gives crit damage, so if you really need crit rate, here you go, but that's about it. I still think this is better overall. And then this is me, Preservation. It's very specific, but for some reason you really need that defense. There you go. And then use it until proven otherwise. We have they're basically all except for the Harmony one. These two are just mainly for the fact that for the paths, they're not doing anything, or they're just not doing enough for said path, right? Obviously, if you want to tell me otherwise, please do, because I've never seen anyone run these light cones in ages, so there's that. And this one, I get what the idea is, but the problem is just that there is not enough going for break as of right now to viably say you should go for this, right? There's just better options for it, right? If this was Nihility and it was be able to run a Fugue, maybe I could have seen what they were going for, but it's just not. It's specifically Harmony. It's only for 2 characters, one of which you're probably using the Remembrance version of, so it doesn't really matter. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever, but there's just better. There's just better. And yeah, that's it for this tier list. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree with this. I know obviously tier lists aren't everyone's favorite thing, but I think I just need to make this video to just show off the new light cones and honestly which one you should go for over others. So that'll be it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.